Toxic has been waiting for this for a long time. Messaging in the chat, do we finally get CFL Power Rankings so I can hear PK put the Stamps at number 1? Well, as we come out of Labor Day and get into another week in the Canadian Football League, will Toxic get his way? We'll see. It's time for Power Rankings. All right, CFL Power Rankings for the week. Coming off of Labor Day, coming off of a wild Labor Day weekend, getting ready for a game tonight between BC and Ottawa. Let's dive in to this week's Power Rankings. Coming in at number 9, it's the Ottawa Red Blacks. They didn't play last week. No one looked bad enough that they should fall off. So I have Ottawa down there at number 9. And we'll get into the preview of the week here in a second, but I'm not confident that they turn this around. It's not a good team. And the injury issues of quarterback have really, really set them back in a big time way. But this defense can't stop anything either. So they are the number 9 team in the power rankings. At 8, it is the Edmonton Elks. There's a good football team in there. And I do think that they will probably finish higher up in these rankings at some point. But for now, the continuity issues were a problem leading into this season. You had a rookie coach, a lot of big changes, and you were trying something at quarterback and it didn't work. But now, like last week, they got dummied by Calgary. And this week, it's probably going to happen again. They are better than that, but this is not a high-level football team or anything along those lines. But better probably than the 8th best team in the league, but not so much better that they're going to give Calgary any kind of a problem coming up on Saturday afternoon. At 7, it is the Montreal Alouettes. Now, this one has a chance to aggressively change, as Mac and Philpott should be back in the lineup for Montreal as they get ready for a game here on Saturday afternoon against Hamilton. That's really going to help them out. And the quarterback injury is still the biggest one, and it is keeping me from really rocketing these guys up, but they are a few good performances away from feeling like a number 1 team again. I feel that strongly about how good this offense is. At 6 is the BC Lions, again, a team that was on a break this week. They have a matchup with Ottawa. The offense seems to be figuring it out, but they have lost a couple because of the defense. We will see how that can course correct. At 5, it's Toronto. Said in the recap, they have kind of chaosed their way into being a good, productive football team and causing a lot of problems now. And now with Chad Kelly maybe being ready to come back next week, again, I don't think quarterback is the problem. And the defense is obviously an issue that they need to figure out. But things are trending now in the right direction for Toronto. Into the top half of the CFL Power Rankings. But a reminder, this is a long stream. If you want energy to get through your next long stream, head over to swiftenergy.gg. Use that code PK Primetime for 25% off. At number 4, it's the Hamilton Tiger Cats. A tough loss against Toronto on Labor Day. The defense, again, they just haven't been able to get the stops when they've needed to. The offense has looked good, but it hasn't been able to reach that great level consistently enough to offset some of the issues they have on defense. And now the issue they're going to run into is they had a glorious opportunity with Toronto struggling and with Montreal struggling to kind of run away and hide in the East. And now Montreal's getting healthier and Toronto's figuring some stuff out. And all of a sudden your lead's down to 2. That is not a good place to be in if you are the Hamilton Tiger Cats right now. At 3, it's the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They have lost against teams that are above them here in the power rankings and lost to some of the higher ups, right? Like they're 0-3 against Calgary and they're 0-1 against Saskatchewan. Now they have a chance to change that one coming up here on Saturday afternoon, but the offensive line is a problem. The defense looked like it was getting some stuff figured out and then kind of didn't. It just doesn't have that same feel to it, but that is, again, compared to the top 2 teams in the league. Compared to everyone else, they feel like they're miles ahead. So they're in a very weird spot right now in the Canadian Football League. At number 2, Saskatchewan Roughriders. I thought they looked good on Sunday against Winnipeg, Labor Day weekend. Defensively, that front four is just a beast and an absolute game wrecker. The secondary comes up with enough big plays to get them a victory there, but that the defense is just so dynamic, and offensively, I thought they have so much talent on every aspect of this team that I just feel like, again, if everyone played their best, if you could guarantee that, Saskatchewan I think is the best team. But there's no way you can put them ahead of the number one team right now, the Calgary Stampeders. Talk about, again, game-wrecking front fours. That defense is elite at causing all kinds of chaos and getting to the quarterback and really throwing off every game plan that teams can have. Saskatchewan can be dominant in the trenches, and they dominated Saskatchewan in the trenches. Offensive line, defensive line, fantastic. Vernon Adams is such a talent at quarterback, and working in the young talent that they have at receiver to go along with a dominant defense. And again, you look at teams 2 and 3 on this list, the next two best teams in the Canadian Football League, they went 5-0 against them. That is just an absurd run of dominance. And I've said it before, barring injury, I don't know what I could see from the rest of the season that would make me think Calgary wouldn't or shouldn't be the favorites to win the Grey Cup. So they are the number one team in the CFL.